Good day, brothers and sisters in Christ. Welcome to our reflection for the exaltation of the cross, year C. The theme of our reflection is Identity, the Path Through Suffering. And being found in human form, he humbled himself. Philippians chapter 2, verse 8. Suffering is unpleasant, but necessary. Stephen Hawking was an outstanding astrophysicist. Sadly, he was afflicted with ALS. He was wheelchair-bound for years with limited mobility and communication skills. He also could not perform basic tasks, but refused to be labeled an invalid. And his personality remained vibrant despite the challenges of his illness. Ironically, Hawking admitted that his life had little meaning before his illness, citing boredom as the cause. He confessed to overindulging in alcohol and neglecting his work. After being diagnosed with ALS and given only 2 years to live, he experienced a surprising positive change. He said he was happier. How can we explain this? According to Hawking, when your expectations are reduced to zero, you learn to appreciate everything you do have. Everything took on new significance for him: a sunrise, a walk in the park, or the sound of children's laughter. Our readings today explore the theme of suffering and show us how to handle it. Our first reading uses the image of the desert as a place of punishment rather than intimacy. The people were punished because instead of expressing gratitude for all they received from God, they were impatient and complained. Our second reading presents a contrast. Instead of feeling entitled because of his exalted position, Jesus chose to empty himself and embrace the cross, and because of that, he was glorified. Our gospel reading tells us that because Jesus has been lifted up, he has become our source of salvation. Suffering only has value if we empty ourselves and seek God's will for us instead of insisting on having things our way. In essence, suffering requires surrender, which is only achievable when we focus less on what happens to us and more on who we are. While the Israelites concentrated on their circumstances in the desert, Jesus focused on his identity as the Son of God, ready to surrender completely to his will. Sadly, we tend to behave more like the Israelites when we suffer. Johnny Warfield captures this well enough, and I quote, "We want to control suffering, the weather, the safety of our loved ones, our emotions, anger, what people think, stress, tragedy, the list goes on. We do not relish being vulnerable, being frightened, judged, or needing help, when this could be translated as weakness. What happens then when the bottom falls out of life in big and small ways and we face diminishment? Are we no longer in control or empowered? The answer is that we learn a deeper kind of empowerment that doesn't depend on external conditions so much as on inner strength, faith, optimism, and hope." End of quote. Our empowerment does not depend on our external conditions, but on our identity as sons and daughters of God. When we believe that nothing can separate us from his love, we rise above our suffering and miracles begin to happen for us. Sometimes circumstances may not change, but we expand sufficiently to embrace what God sends our way and to find the value in it. We have a lot to learn from the way Hawking focused on his identity as a scientist rather than his illness and accomplished a great deal. God sometimes allows suffering to remind us of our identity and challenges us to rise above our current circumstances to accomplish things that we can only imagine. So this week I invite you to do the following. Read Romans chapter 8 from verse 31 to 38 and meditate on the cross with a deep sense of gratitude for what God has done for you in Jesus. Have a blessed week.